What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? I hope this message reaches you in good energy. I hope you and your loved ones are in good health. So we're going to have a lengthy conversation today. It may even end up being a two-part video about pride when it comes to learning and how it's a dangerous thing, how it's a brutal thing, how it's a destructive thing, how it's a counterproductive thing. So let's get into it. Quote of the day. Some people can't stand being wrong. They would rather cut people off, become argumentative, be disrespectful. Anything is better to them than to be wrong. These people have been taught that being wrong is a bad thing. They have a pride problem. Don't be like these people. The Catalyst. Song of the day. Caught Out in the Rain by Beth Hart. So, we're talking about a learning environment. We're talking about a teaching environment. We're talking about an environment where someone is there to become educated. We are not talking about something detrimental like being wrong while you're performing a task that you've been taught, being wrong while you're out executing a scenario or situation. We're talking about learning here. When it comes to learning, being wrong is a good thing. You've never heard that, but you need to know that so that you can understand there's nothing wrong with being wrong. Being wrong means you don't know. They ask a question, you say an answer, that's the wrong answer. We're not talking about in a test situation. We're not talking about an apply your knowledge situation. We're talking about simply instructor asking a question or someone correcting you for you giving out information that isn't correctly. I cannot tell you how many people I have run across who cannot accept when they are wrong. 5 people can be telling this person that they're wrong. Documentation, examples, witnesses, have the whole 9 yards to express how their knowledge that they're presenting is wrong. And this person will still say, well, in my opinion. Come on, bro. Come on. You got a pride issue at that point. At that point, you have a pride issue. You have an issue with accepting that you are wrong. And I understand. I get it. Because the world has taught people that being wrong is close to being a villain, right? It's close to being evil. Like, oh, you don't know? Oh, that makes you stupid. Oh, that makes you dumb. That makes you a bad guy. That's not the case. You can't figure out what you don't know unless you test the knowledge that you have. You can't figure out if it's correct knowledge unless you put it out there and see if someone comes to correct it. Most of the time, and I hate to be an ageist here, it's the older people that don't want to be wrong. Younger people pretty much have gotten accustomed to people telling them they don't know what they're talking about, and to people telling them, hey, this and that. There's some of them who also don't want to listen, some young people, they're out there. But a lot of times it's the older people who've been around the block for a long time. It's like, no, I know what I'm talking about because I've been here for 87 years. I've been working at this job for 20 years. I've been doing this same thing since you were in diapers. You've been doing it wrong since I've been in diapers then. Because you're wrong. Not only are you wrong, you're wrong about being wrong. Because you think, since I've shown you the evidence, I'm supporting it with facts, details. I'm supporting it with witnesses and applying the knowledge and showing you how it works. You think just because you've been doing it for forever that you've been doing it right, and you also think that it's okay to never be wrong, or that it's not okay to not be wrong. And that has to change, guys. That has to change if you want to grow your knowledge. The more I learn, the more I realize I don't know. And I don't blame those people because, like I said, a lot of times society will sit there and say, if you don't know, you're stupid. If you don't know, you're dumb. If you don't know, you're the bad guy, you're the villain. But you have to accept that there's going to be some things that you don't know. The best example I use is this. If someone goes to school to learn how to work on hearts, they know how to do heart surgery. they should not assume they know how to do brain surgery too, or vice versa. You know how to work on hearts. You don't know nothing about the brain. You ain't been in there playing around with the brain. Maybe you know the basic knowledge. Maybe you know some extent knowledge, some professional knowledge, but you are a brain surgeon. You are a heart surgeon. So if a heart surgeon knows his limitations, if he knows that he has to get you off to a specialist once we figure out that there's a problem with the brain, how come we as people can't, down here on the basic level, can't have that same understanding? These are people who've gone to school for years and years, who are practicing law, who have had hours and hours of study, hours and hours of applying sciences, applying their subject, hours and hours of on-the-job training, hours and hours of residential training. These people still know that they have a limit to the knowledge that they have in their vessel. And we as basic people can't just accept that. I'm the first one to tell you I don't know everything about computers, about coding, about IT, about password and setting up domains, about permissions and things like that. I'm the first one to tell you I don't know much about cars. I know there's a radiator in there. I don't know how to mess with it. I know there's a transmission in there. I don't know how to take it out, So while I have an extent knowledge on public speaking, while I have an extent knowledge on motivational speaking, while I have an extent knowledge in the medical field, while I have an extent knowledge on extensive knowledge on a lot of different topics, working out, studying, eating right and healthy, I know there is genres, there are areas, there are fields that I'm limited at. So when someone presents me with new knowledge, even in the fields that I do know, I listen first, digest it, and if it's counterintuitive to what I've been taught, I examine, has something changed? Do you have documentation to show that? Do you have knowledge and do you have evidence to prove your theory right? Then that's when I start to argue if they don't. But if they do, that evidence needs to be examined. You still don't need to just take it at face value just because they present you with an article. Anybody can write an article and post it on the net. I know that. But my point is this, before I get lost in the weeds. It's okay to be wrong. Don't let anybody tell you that it's not okay to be wrong. Once we start getting scared to be wrong, it's become fear of being, you start getting scared of being afraid. And now you just seek out make sure that you avoid any situation where you would be wrong at. And that's not how you grow. You can't grow in a new field if you don't test the knowledge that you've obtained. It's okay to be wrong. Don't stay ignorant. Don't stay wrong. Don't continue to perpetuate the incorrect knowledge that you have. But don't be scared when someone corrects you. Don't be intimidated by someone who has more knowledge than you. Take it as a chance to evolve. Change your relationship with being wrong. Change your relationship with failure and watch how exponentially you increase your growth. All right, I hope that helps somebody out there. I need you guys to take care of each other. Please, please, please take care of yourselves. Keep me in your prayers. I'll forever keep you in mind. Endure, believe, rise.